There's a truth buried in every woman's mind. A truth she hides, even from herself. She says she wants kindness, safety, and understanding. But watch her eyes when a man like that stands before her. Flat, empty, no fire. Then watch her eyes when danger walks in. When a man who moves with quiet power enters the room, her breath slows, her pupils widen, her voice softens, because deep down, she doesn't crave comfort. She craves command. Every woman carries a shadow inside her, a silent hunger for the man who cannot be tamed, the one who doesn't ask, the one who doesn't beg, the one who doesn't follow the rules that smaller men obey. This is not cruelty. This is nature. Dark psychology calls it the Predator Imprint. It's the ancient response coded in her blood, to follow the man who can lead her through chaos, not talk her through comfort. But today, most men have been trained out of this truth. They've been told to be soft, agreeable, and endlessly understanding. They've been told that to win love, they must avoid the darkness inside them. They cut away their masculine instinct, and then they wonder why desire vanishes the moment they show their heart. Here's the paradox. When you show her only warmth, she feels safe, but not drawn. When you show her your depth, your silence, your focus, she feels pulled. Not because you scare her, but because you remind her of something ancient. The monster is not evil. The monster is power under control. Every woman secretly measures a man by one question. Can he handle me? Not my words, my storms, my silence, my chaos. And if she senses the answer is no, her attraction dies quietly, even if she smiles. That is why the monster wins where the nice man fails. The nice man listens. The monster observes. The nice man pleases. The monster decides. The nice man waits. The monster moves. In dark psychology, this pattern is called emotional polarity. It means attraction lives in the tension between fear and safety. Too much safety kills desire. Too much fear kills trust. The man who masters both creates addiction. He becomes her emotional gravity, pulling her without touching her. He speaks few words, but his silence says everything. He doesn't show his hand. He lets her imagine. Because what she imagines always burns hotter than what she knows. Look closer at history. The names that echo across centuries, Caesar, Napoleon, Genghis, even the poets and painters who burned with madness, they all had the same code. A calm on the surface, a storm underneath. That's the duality that wakes feminine desire. The sense that a man could destroy, but chooses not to. That choice is power. That control is magnetism. That is the monster every woman secretly desires, but can never admit. Why can't she admit it? Because to speak, it would break her mask of morality. Society tells her to want comfort. Her biology whispers, find strength. Her ego says, choose safety. Her body says, choose danger that knows its limits. She will never tell you this truth directly. She will test you instead. She will withdraw. She will delay. She will provoke. She wants to feel if your center holds steady when she shakes the ground beneath you. If you break, you lose. If you hold, she follows. This is not manipulation. It is instinct. Every test she gives is her way of asking, are you the monster or the prey? Men fail not because they are weak, but because they fear their own darkness. They think discipline means killing desire. But discipline is not denial. It's direction. The monster directs his darkness toward purpose. He doesn't use emotion to chase love. He uses emotion to fuel dominance over himself. And that's what women feel. self-control wrapped in danger. You cannot fake that energy. You must build it through silence, through challenge, through purpose. When you stop living for her approval, you begin radiating the very energy she craves. So remember this: she doesn't want the monster who hurts her. She wants the monster who could, but never needs to. She doesn't desire your rage. She desires your restraint. She doesn't love your words. She loves the weight behind your silence. Because in that silence, she feels something no nice man can give. The unspoken truth that you are dangerous, but disciplined. That you can walk through chaos and stay calm. That you don't need her, but she needs your gravity. That is the foundation of the monster. Power without begging. Dominance without cruelty. Presence without performance. The men who master this are not chasing women. They are mastering polarity. And the world bends to those who carry controlled danger in their soul. In the next part, we go deeper into how the monster builds this power and how women subconsciously test for it long before they ever speak a word. Every woman senses energy before words. When you walk in, she doesn't read your face first. She reads your center. She feels if you stand rooted or restless. That feeling decides everything that follows. It tells her whether you lead yourself or you drift. She will never say she's testing you, but she is. Not to break you, but to see if you're real. Because a man without roots is a promise without weight. She needs to feel you won't vanish when emotion rises. That quiet check is her first test. You pass it with calm. Not with noise, not with proof, but with stillness that cannot be moved. The calm man wins because he controls the one thing every storm wants to shake: peace. These tests are not games. They are reflections. They mirror back your own insecurities. When she pulls away, she's asking, will you chase or will you hold? When she argues, she's asking, will you fight or will you listen? When she goes silent, she's asking, will you crumble or remain clear? Every response reveals how much of you belongs to emotion and how much belongs to discipline. Dark psychology calls this the boundary dynamic. Healthy attraction grows inside those boundaries. Without them, desire dissolves into chaos. The monster, your inner strength, does not chase approval. He respects his standards. He lets silence work, because silence exposes truth faster than words. A woman senses this difference. She feels when a man's calm is real and when it's forced. Real calm carries no anger underneath. It carries direction. Understand this: her mind seeks safety, but her spirit seeks certainty. Certainty doesn't mean control. It means clarity. When you know who you are, you stop reacting. You start responding. And that shift from reaction to response is the mark of true masculine gravity. Each test she gives is an invitation to return to your center. It's not about winning over her, it's about mastering yourself. That's why presence matters more than talk. Because presence cannot lie. Your body language, your breathing, your tone, they reveal the truth before you speak. So, breathe slowly. Hold eye contact without forcing it. Let your words come after your thoughts, not before. This slow rhythm rewires how people feel you. It makes your energy the loudest voice in the room. Many men collapse during these moments because they view tension as threat. But tension is where attraction lives. It's where respect grows. When a woman feels your calm through tension, she trusts your strength. She learns you don't flee from emotional fire. You absorb it and stay composed. That's what the monster truly represents. Not aggression, but emotional containment. He's the man who feels everything yet remains unshaken. His silence carries weight because it's built on mastery, not suppression. He doesn't hide feelings, he harnesses them. Control doesn't mean pretending. Control means knowing. When you know anger, you can redirect it into focus. When you know desire, you can express it with restraint. When you know fear, you can turn it into alertness. That's how the dark becomes strength, through awareness, not denial. Women respect the man who can stand in chaos without creating more of it. He doesn't match mood swings, he stabilizes them. He doesn't demand trust, he earns it through consistency. His word stays the same on calm days and stormy nights. When you live this way, her tests fade. Not because she stops challenging you, but because she starts believing in you. She sees your composure as protection, not competition. She relaxes into your presence because she feels your control isn't about power. It's about peace. To build that peace, you must train it. You can't fake centeredness under pressure you never practice. So create daily friction. Wake before dawn and move your body before the world stirs. Sit in silence for 5 minutes and watch your thoughts without reacting. Face one task you fear and finish it without delay. These acts build the muscle of inner control. They teach your nervous system calm under fire. And that calm becomes your aura, your invisible dominance. Remember, the monster every woman secretly desires is not a threat. He is a fortress. He doesn't conquer people, he conquers himself. He doesn't chase validation, he radiates certainty. He doesn't raise his voice, his stillness commands it. She tests you to see if that fortress stands, and when it does, she doesn't worship you. She respects you. That respect births connection, not the shallow kind built on games, but the quiet kind built on trust and awe. So hold your center. Move slow. Speak truth. Lead with direction, not desire. Let the monster within you be the guardian of peace, not the cause of pain. That's how mystery becomes magnetism. That's how strength becomes love. That's how you pass every test, without ever taking one. In the next segment, we'll enter the forge, how the monster is built through purpose, solitude, and self-discipline, and why those who walk alone often lead the strongest bonds. Power is never found. It is forged. Every strong man you admire walked through silence before anyone noticed his fire. He trained his mind to obey, his body to follow, and his emotions to serve. That is the path that turns a restless boy into a grounded force. Purpose is the furnace. Without it, energy leaks into noise. A man without direction drifts toward distraction. He lives for approval, not for meaning. But a man with purpose becomes magnetic. He moves like a tide, slow, certain, unstoppable. Ask yourself, why do some men command a room without speaking? It is not height or looks. It is alignment. Their mind, word, and action point in the same direction. That unity creates pressure. Pressure creates presence. And presence is what people feel before they trust. To build that unity, you must pick a path and bleed for it daily. Small goals harden the will more than big dreams. Wake up, move, learn, repeat. When you master routine, you control chaos. That quiet consistency tells the world you are real. Dark psychology defines magnetism as focused emotion. You cannot charm or attract when you scatter energy. Every scroll, every complaint, every wasted hour drains force from your center. The monster protects his attention like treasure. He gives it only to things that sharpen his mission. Purpose is not about fame. It's about direction strong enough to pull you through boredom and fear. Work, art, discipline, or service. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you choose and stay loyal. Loyalty to purpose builds the confidence that no praise can fake. Solitude is the hammer in this forge. Without quiet, you cannot hear your own thoughts. Modern life floods you with noise that hides your truth. Spend 1 hour alone each day with no screen, no sound, only breath. At first, the silence will fight you. It will show you weakness you ignored. Stay with it. The man who can sit still with himself can stand firm before anyone. From that stillness grows clarity. You begin to see what deserves your energy and what drains it. You stop chasing people who don't respect time. You stop explaining peace to those who live in chaos. That's when you cross from reaction to command. Purpose shapes discipline, and discipline shapes aura. The disciplined man carries quiet threat, not to harm, but to hold. He knows he can endure more than most. He finishes what others abandon. He keeps promises even when unseen. This reliability is rare. People feel it and trust it instinctively. Notice how attraction follows structure. When your day has order, your energy feels solid. When your life has rhythm, your presence feels safe. That is why routine is not prison. It's armor. It protects the best parts of you from chaos disguised as fun. You don't need to announce this transformation. Let your improvement speak in results. The loudest men crave validation. The monster builds in silence until outcome replaces talk. When you finally act from purpose, every gesture changes. Your walk slows, your eyes steady, your words shorten. You stop selling yourself and start embodying worth. People, women included, feel that shift. They sense power without explanation, because power is not declared. It's displayed through composure. Train every day to do one thing that stretches comfort. Cold water, hard reading, focused work. Each challenge sends a message to your subconscious. I am in control. Repeat it long enough, and belief becomes instinct. This is how the monster is forged, not through dominance over others, but through mastery of self. He disciplines hunger instead of denying it. He channels anger into precision. He turns fear into awareness. That conversion process creates magnetic calm, the kind of calm that draws curiosity instead of doubt. Understand this truth. Women, men, everyone around you responds to energy that feels certain. Certainty grows from repetition, not talk. When you know your mission, distractions lose power. When you act from values, temptation fades. When you keep promises to yourself, your presence becomes law. And that is the quiet magnetism of purpose. It doesn't shout, it hums. It doesn't demand, it commands. Because it comes from a man who needs nothing from approval. So forge daily. Let your purpose burn steady. Let solitude harden you, not isolate you. Let discipline sculpt peace, not pride. Each act of self-control builds weight in your words. Each promise kept adds steel to your silence. The monster every woman truly admires is the man who stands for something larger than desire. He is danger mastered through direction. He is power that protects, not destroys. He is proof that strength without peace is noise, and peace without strength is weakness. Hold this balance. Live from it. Let your purpose speak for you long before you open your mouth. Powerful men rarely speak first. They don't fill the room with sound. They fill it with stillness. That stillness is pressure, and pressure is power. The weak rush to explain, to please, to prove. The strong observe, measure, and let silence do their talking. Every pause becomes a mirror that exposes the other person's need for validation. This is the secret language of silence, and it always reveals who truly holds control. Dark psychology teaches that emotion is currency. The one who spends it least holds the highest value. When you react fast, you lose frame. When you stay composed, you set the frame. Frame is invisible authority. It decides who leads and who follows. A calm mind radiates certainty. Certainty draws curiosity. Curiosity builds attraction. It's that simple. Watch how the world behaves when you say nothing. People start guessing what you think. They try harder to impress you. They lean in. That's emotional gravity. You don't earn it through noise. You earn it through restraint. Women feel this energy stronger than anyone. They read tone before words. They sense confidence in pace, not volume. A man who controls emotion commands attention effortlessly. Control doesn't mean coldness. It means direction. Anger, lust, or pride. Each one is fuel. The monster never wastes it on reaction. He channels it into timing. He knows when to speak and when to stay quiet. That silence builds tension. And tension is the root of attraction. When you don't rush to fill space, the other person begins to feel the weight of your calm. That's when power silently transfers to you. Observe a conversation. Notice who interrupts, who explains, who seeks approval. Now notice the one who waits, who listens, who doesn't break eye contact. That person already leads. Because leadership isn't in volume, it's in pace. You decide the rhythm, you decide the frame. Most men fear silence because it exposes insecurity. They speak fast to cover uncertainty. But when you master silence, you turn insecurity into mystery. And mystery pulls more attention than charm ever will. Silence also gives you clarity. When others talk, you listen to patterns. You see emotion behind words. You read what they hide. That insight makes you unpredictable. You know when to strike with words that cut through confusion. This is emotional warfare at its cleanest. No manipulation, just awareness. When people realize you don't react to their tone, they adjust theirs. When they see you don't rush to defend yourself, they question their attack. That is how composure bends energy without force. In dark psychology, control is not about domination. It's about rhythm. Every social exchange has tempo. He who sets it, leads it. That's why the monster never chases attention. He makes others crave his response. The secret? Patience. Patience is weaponized calm. It's the silence between action and reaction where your power grows. Think of silence as a shield. When you face disrespect, respond with nothing but steady eyes. Words are cheap. Composure is expensive. When you stay unmoved, the other person feels their weakness louder than any insult could. This is not arrogance, it's command. Because command starts with self-control. A man who can't control emotion will always be led by someone who can. The monster studies emotion the way a swordsman studies distance. He knows exactly when to close in and when to step back. Every silence is strategic. Every word, precise. He never over-explains himself. He never justifies. He lets the truth of his actions stand tall while noise fades around him. This creates presence. Presence is not loud, it's heavy. It changes the energy of a room without movement. People sense it and align subconsciously. To build it, start small. When someone tries to test you, pause. When someone interrupts, smile. When emotion rises, breathe. Every second you delay reaction adds to your authority. Control grows from space, not speech. Understand this truth. Emotion is the wind. Control is the mountain. Wind can scream, but the mountain never moves. That stillness is what women secretly crave in a world full of chaos. It's not your charm. It's your composure. It's not what you say. It's what your silence communicates. When you master the language of silence, you become the rare calm in a storm of noise. People feel safer around you. Women feel drawn to your steadiness. Enemies think twice before provoking you. Because silence in a man is not emptiness. It's depth. And depth is what the shallow world hungers for, but cannot fake. The monster doesn't fight for control. He already owns it by mastering emotion. He speaks less, but says more. He reacts slower, but strikes sharper. And that is how quiet power conquers chaos. Every man carries two forces, the builder and the beast. One creates peace, the other protects it. The world tells you to silence the beast, but a silenced beast becomes weakness disguised as kindness. The monster every woman secretly desires does not kill his darkness. He tames it. He shapes it into strength that obeys wisdom. That balance, calm and danger, is the final form of masculine control. She does not crave a man who bends. She craves one who can, but chooses not to. That restraint is what separates power from pride. Every woman tests for that energy. She wants to know if your calm is real or rehearsed, if your confidence is natural or borrowed. And every time you stay grounded while others react, she feels the difference. This is not about pretending to be untouchable. It's about mastering the fire so completely that no one else controls your temperature. The monster is not cruel. He is precise. He gives warmth when earned and distance when disrespected. He never argues. He decides. He never threatens. He enforces. His energy is simple. I am not here to impress. I am here to exist fully. That self-certainty is what burns inside the quiet. It's the reason people trust him without words, because real danger doesn't need announcement. Powerful men do not show dominance through aggression. They show it through control under pressure. When chaos hits, they remain clear. When emotion flares, they stay centered. That control triggers instinctive attraction. It's not manipulation, it's mastery. Women are wired to follow emotional safety, and safety is found in men who do not lose themselves in reaction. The monster understands this psychology. He knows that the strongest energy in any space leads the dance. So he builds strength that does not shout. He lets mystery carry his presence. Because mystery makes people project their desires onto you, he doesn't give constant validation. He gives stability. He doesn't chase attention. He becomes the standard others measure against. When he looks at her, he doesn't seek approval. He studies. He reads emotion like a book and listens to the tone between words. That awareness creates control. Control creates safety. Safety deepens attraction. But here is the truth most men ignore. You cannot lead emotion you don't understand. That's why the monster studies not to exploit, but to predict. He never uses knowledge to harm. He uses it to move with precision. Women respect men who are not ruled by impulse, because impulse is chaos, and chaos kills trust. When she sees you respond with measured calm, she feels something ancient. Security. That's the pulse of attraction that goes beyond looks, beyond money, beyond talk. She doesn't need you to be perfect. She needs you to be anchored, to be danger under discipline, to be strength that listens. That balance is rare. That balance is power. The monster is not a fantasy. He is the final stage of evolution for a man who has faced his fears and refused to hide from his nature. He stands at the edge of control, calm eyes, steady voice, focused heart. He has no interest in proving himself. He has interest only in becoming what he was meant to be, unmoved, unbreakable, aware. That energy pulls everything it needs, because energy flows where certainty stands. To become that man, you must complete 3 final acts. 1. Burn weakness through truth. Stop lying to yourself about effort, habits, or fear. Truth cleans your foundation. 2. Guard your time like treasure. Every minute given to distraction steals energy from destiny. Be ruthless about what deserves your attention. 3. Train daily to be calm under pressure. That is the core of dark control. Because in the end, leadership is not about words. It's about how you hold silence when everything shakes. The monster does not hate emotion. He commands it. He feels deeply, but never drowns. He loves fiercely, but never begs. He forgives easily, but never forgets. That balance of depth and distance is irresistible, because it says, I could lose you and still remain myself. That line is the invisible signature of every powerful man. It's not arrogance, it's acceptance. When you reach that level, you become unshakable. So understand this truth. You don't become the monster to control others. You become him to master yourself, to walk through the noise of life untouched, to move through emotion without losing center, to stand in fire and remain cool. When you reach that silence within, she feels it. She won't know why she stares longer, why her voice softens, why her guard lowers. It's because she senses danger that protects instead of harms. That is the paradox of attraction. The monster is feared by men and desired by women, because he lives at the intersection of danger and peace. So remember, you are not here to chase approval. You are here to embody gravity. Be the calm that others can't ignore. Be the mystery that silence protects. Be the danger that peace controls. Because in the end, the monster every woman secretly desires is not born from darkness. He is born from mastery. This is the shadow mind, where control replaces chaos and silence becomes power. If you enjoyed this video, show some love by liking it and subscribing to the channel. Your support really keeps me motivated to bring you awesome content. Thanks for sticking around and watching until the end.